Cool. You ready?
I like that shirt though.
I appreciate it. I wore it just for you.
I like that.
Yeah, no, I got that just for you.
I like it. I fuck with it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this just for you. Welcome everybody to the Stars Experience. Yeah. I am here with USC player, cornerback,
gas me
punt
up,
returner, kick returner, offensive player, Jim Thorpe Award winner.
I like that.
First round draft pick for the Tennessee Titans, Adoree Jackson, live here in studios. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause.
I don't know. I'm trying to not y'all see my hands, but I'm clapping for myself today.
I feel it. You're grilled up. You're icy. I had to bring something up because I knew I was sitting across from you.
I like it.
You know, I had to get the neon Dion.
Yeah, I like that.
Because, you know.
It's different.
Yeah, no. And like you, two-sport athlete.
Yeah.
You know, track, field.
Right.
But we'll get into that. But there's a whole lot of stuff I want to get into. First, I want to say this on the record. Top 5 on my list. You might even be number 1 of college players robbed from a Heisman.
I feel that. I like that.
You in there for me. You in my top 5.
I just wanted to go to the ceremony. That's it. So the whole thing, it wasn't about me winning it. It was just me trying to pump myself up. Like I always said, I wanted to win the Thorpe. I wanted to win a Heisman. So by the time my junior year came, it was more of the things where my coaches never met. We got a whole new staff, and I told them the first day I met them, like, yeah, you about to have a Thorpe Award winner. You can ask any coach that was there, and they probably didn't believe it at the time, and they ended up winning it. It was just me putting my mind to it. So to me not get the Heisman, I just wanted to go to the event just to be there. That's why I tried to put on the show for the last game of the season, and I got a whole bunch of tweets from a lot of athletes that I looked up to or I admired, and now that I play against them in the league, so it was cool to see that. And then Reggie Bush, talking to him and him gassing me up, and that was my favorite player growing up, and that was my idol, still is. So man, that whole season was crazy.
Would you put, and here's a hard question right out the gate, would you put Reggie Bush over Derrick Rose?
Oh man, nah, I keep them the same. They tied. Okay. Reggie was the reason why I started playing football. Okay. And Derrick Rose was who I was as a point guard, so it was somebody I'm out of my game after, and it was somebody that I seen where if I was to make it to the league, I was gonna play just like D Rose, explosive, did everything he did, dribbled, all that, and then Reggie Bush was like the pioneer for me to start the avenue of football.
Our skill levels at Derrick Rose on record.
On record.
I
thought I kept playing.
Right now?
No, I mean I think I'd be in the G League right now. I can get down. I'm not being in the NBA, but. Now, back in the day, I used to be like legit, went to AAU. We went to Florida, won nationals, high school team. We lost one game. I always want to say we were undefeated. We lost one game before the tournament. But
so you could have been a triple sport athlete.
If I took it serious. It was one of the things. I moved out to California, and I grew up playing basketball when I was 3. So my mom always tell the story. I used to play Space Jam all the time, and I used to try to jump over the bed, dunk the ball, and all that. So, I always been a basketball fan, love basketball. And then once I got older, I moved to California, and it was me trying to figure out the avenue, what I want to do in life. I did 3 sports. I did them all well, but which ones were I going to be able to do at the next level?
So, moving to California from St. Louis, right? Correct?
Right.
That's a change. You're going from the middle of the country to California, where you're right by the ocean, beaches, Hollywood down the street, Disneyland down the street, Universal. Pick one.
Right.
What was that change like? That's a different change. I moved once, but it was down to a different block. It wasn't a different state. You know what I'm saying?
It was different. I hated LA because that's all I knew was East St. Louis. That's all I grew up around. That's all I knew. My friends had everything there that I loved and everything that brought me and made me who I was. So my parents to be like, yeah, you can stay with your sister and go out there and play sports and pursue your dreams. It was weird. It was different. It's one of the things you've seen in the movies. You believed it. And I always had dreams and them to back me up and support me more than I supported myself. Like I knew that was going to be the better choice for me. But at the same time, me being a kid, young-minded, having everything that I had, people that loved me, everybody that messed with me, already on varsity, could do this and that, and then going to a whole other demographic, a whole other school. The food was different, people were different, the music, the style, the lifestyle. Me just being East St. Louis, we don't operate like that.
Right.
So it was me trying to figure out how can I be who I was and try to figure out this new avenue that's going to make me a better person and be a better athlete in life.
So what was that new avenue that you took? Would you just put down the Nelly CD and pick a?
Honestly, the guys that I like Jalen Jones, Jalen Green, Dwight Williams, Ray Ford, Patrick Wooten, Ontario Bateman, Darrell Fury. There's a lot of the older guys who took me under their wings and showed me the rope. So I pretty much was like their little brother. And they probably don't know that. I don't tell them that all the time, but it was some people that I looked up to that I knew that was going to have my best interest and want to see me succeed. And that was the hardest thing, trying to accept people and being where I'm from, my background and what I know. And you don't really trust, you don't accept, you don't, reach out to a lot of different people. And for me, seeing them trying to help me and treating me like the little brother, and it was just me accepting and understanding that, man, this might be it. Like, this might be a different thing that I needed in my life. Sometimes they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but for them to show me two different lifestyles that I knew and grew up from, that had this LA lifestyle, it was nice.
All right, well, so let's get into the grunt of things, and let's talk about you getting to USC. So why did you choose USC? Is it strictly Reggie Bush, your favorite player? He went there, I want to go there? Or because you had other offers.
Right.
You almost went to Florida.
Right.
So why USC? Why'd you stay in California, even though you just said when you first got to California you didn't want to be in California?
It's a crazy thing. I told Florida I was going to commit to them. I was trying to graduate early. So I was trying to graduate from school early so I can go to Florida. That's where I thought I was going to go. I wanted to go there. I was like, man, they got a good track program. They're going to let me play both sides of the ball. I can be a returner. I could have got 21. So I was eager and I wanted to do it. And Jalen Green, my quarterback at the time, he graduated early. So I was trying to tell my school, like, let me graduate early. I'm trying to get up out of here. I want to go to Florida. Like, I'm just trying to hurry up.
Right.
I couldn't graduate early. So then the process kept going on. Sure enough, SC being down the street, they can just come whenever to, visit, other kids, and I see them all the time. And then I started thinking about after football and bigger than myself. I could have been in Gainesville, and I could have went to LSU. I could have been in Baton Rouge. And everybody kept talking about the Trojan family and how you can connect. And everybody in L.A. that you run into may have a tie to USC, or everybody who's in L.A., they either rock with USC or UCLA. And I just started thinking about that lifestyle, trying to brand myself and something that was going to be better than me and that was going to help me to do the things I wanted to do. And that's pretty much the real reason why I stayed in L.A.
So no regrets?
None. I look back at it. I could have went to LSU. They always started 5-0. It's crazy. My dad always called me when LSU was 5-0 during the season. Damn, you should have went to LSU. Sure enough, later down the season, they finished the same record as us. Florida, the same thing. The coaches ended up leaving in the middle of the season. And so it was me and my dad. We just talk throughout the season. Like, dang, you think you made the right decision? I always told him I felt like it. And, I have no regrets. If I can do it all over again, I'll still do the same thing. Pick USC because I feel like it helped me become a better person. I feel like being able to talk to a lot of different people, network, connect, and me just being an athlete. And I was blessed, to do the things I was able to do. And I feel like if I wasn't that guy, then maybe it would have been different. I don't know, how the Lord path was set for me. But me being able to make plays and people like that. So I was able to talk to alumni. I was able to go to the when they did the career day preps, and a lot of people from USC who like football. And that was a cool thing to see, that people who really didn't know me just love football so much. They was willing to help me and want to see me do great. So I always say that was my blessing, to be able to be good at football and to be able to retain knowledge and be smart and to be able to talk to people at the same time, because I know the only way I'm going to be able to help others is somebody was able to help me. And that was my whole thought process.
Okay. Now I want to jump back to something you said at the beginning of the show. You said you really wanted the Jim Thorpe. Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you compared to other accolades that you did attain and could have attained in college? Why was that one the one that was on your list, like, I need that?
Because I didn't start playing corner until I got to high school. My junior year is really when I became a cornerback. My sophomore year, they switched my position. I played offense my whole life growing up. I didn't really play corner until I came to Sarah. I asked the coach, like, what do y'all need? I play offense. I said, I'm a quarterback. Sure enough, they had Jalen Green. Play running back. We had Ontario Bateman. I play receiver. We got receivers. And he was like, well, you can play corner. And I'm like, man, I don't play defense, so I don't know nothing about it. He was like, well, you can start. We don't have no corners. Sure enough, I'm out there playing. It was, I don't know, it was different for me. Like, I'm always used to having the ball in my hand, so being out there playing corner, nobody throwing the ball my way, I call my dad, like, I don't think this is it. Like, I don't even want to do this no more. Like, I'm not getting no action, none of that. He wouldn't let me play offense. I wasn't a returner, so I'm like, man, this is a different aspect and element for me. And then to realize what a DB was and the nature of it and how he can take the life out of the stadium, or he could bring the life in the stadium at the same time, and being a returner, it was just me. I think it was God showing me like I had everything back in Illinois, but now I had to reinvent myself to show everybody that that I am coachable. I am a player that can do a lot of different things, and I had to just step back from always having the ball in my hands to finding my happiness in a different spot. And eventually, once I got happy with being a corner, sure enough, I was able to play offense. Sure enough, now I'm the returner. So it's me just having to be appreciative of my role and my job and understanding that I can't be impatient. Like, I just moved out here. These boys was already solidified. They already had their spots. Right. Everybody knew the coach. The coach knew them. And I really had to understand that it wasn't that I sucked. It was just more that I had to prove myself to everybody else and just prove myself.
Right. No one knew who Adoree Jackson was coming in the door.
Nobody.
No one.
I wasn't even about to play football when I came out here. Like, I quit football my freshman year in high school. I only came back because my cousin dad was like, "You think you can come out here and still play?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it ain't nothing. Like, I'll come out there and I'll play." Did it, ended up breaking my hand. And then I just stopped playing football. So I'm like, yeah, I'm done. Like, maybe I wasn't supposed to come back out since I broke my hand. Sure enough, I moved out of Cali. I was just going to run track. That's all I wanted to do. And a coach asked me, like, "Do you want to play football?" And there wasn't no hesitation. Like, I just said yes. So I knew from then, like, this is probably what I really needed to do, and this was my calling. Like, I know I didn't want to play football. And I was away from my dad. He couldn't come to the games. He couldn't see nothing. He couldn't read no news report and be like, "Oh, this is what my son doing." And I ended up just doing it anyways because I felt in my heart that was my job. Like, basketball was one of the things that I love so much. But you had to realize I was 5'10", 5'11". I mean, you got Nate Robinson, but I'm not about to be a Nate Robinson. Everybody's different. Everybody's story different. Everybody's know Isaiah Thomas, and you look at all the point guards. Growing up, you don't understand. You just see Allen Iverson, a point guard. He's short. You don't know that man was 6'2". The Steph Curry, 6'3". Yeah. Russell Westbrook, 6'4". So you don't understand that. Growing up where I'm from, like, you just see somebody a point guard. Oh, you're a point guard. You're supposed to be a point guard. And I just came to realization that, well, I can play corner in the league. I'm 5'10", 5'11" now, so I'm the average cornerback, and I can really do this.
So let's talk about you doing, you said you like track and field. Right? So what drove you to try? Was it just something that you just did because you enjoyed it, you were good at it, you were trying to stay in shape for basketball because you said you played basketball? Right. What was it that drew you to track and field?
It was my 8th grade year. All my friends. So the way our school district worked, it was a street, and I was on the border of one side of the street, and the other side of the street you go to the other school. Okay. And so it was in 8th grade. I knew a lot of my friends. We weren't about to go to the same school, and it was one of the last things that we can do together. Like, it was the last sporting event that we can do, so I convinced everybody to go out there and run track. And it was just for us to be together one last time because I knew we was going to separate. We wasn't going to be able to see each other again, and we was all going to go our separate ways. And I knew, hearing all the stories, we're going to go to different high school. We were supposed to be cool, but you're going to make new friends and all that. So I want to at least have one good memory with all my boys before we got up out of there. And that's how really track started. I didn't know nothing about track. I just was like, hey, let's go do something together. And that was why we did it.
So how did that track translate? Because you never did spring ball in college. So how did that keep you in shape and put you at a different level to where you didn't have to do spring ball and the coaches were comfortable with not seeing your face or your number out there because they knew you were keeping yourself right?
So the crazy thing is Clancy Pendergrass, who was there before I got there, he left. He didn't know nothing about me. He just knew that I just did track. And my DB coach, and that's when I told him, like, I'm going to win the Thorpe, and they thought it was a joke because it was like, man, you just run track. You don't know anything. And I think being able to go to the Olympic trials was a whole nother level for me, just to be able to go against people that I knew. The Jeff Hendersons. You got the Will Clays. And me jumping against them, like, man, Marquise Goodwin, the dude I looked up to, play football. I wanted to beat his record in high school so bad. Watching them jump, it was just people that I was intrigued at. And to see them do it at a high level and understand that, man, I'm in college and I'm competing at the Olympic trials. I end up getting 10th or whatever it may be, making it to the finals. And my whole mindset changed, and that's when I came back to school. I was like, man, I'm going to win the Thorpe because there's no way you can tell me that I just went to the Olympic trials and was competing with the best of the best when I can't even do sports. I don't do sports full time because I'm doing so many because I love so many sports. And I told my coach, like, yeah, I'm going to win the Thorpe. Like, I was just that confident. I had that much reinsurance in myself because I done did it with the Olympics. I was there jumping against those guys, so I felt like, man, if I went against him, since some dude in college, it shouldn't be a big deal. And my whole confidence and mindset changed. I had this thing like Chad Johnson did, the Dulce Venganza, and it meant sweet revenge. And it was every opponent that I had, and I tried to make sure I kept everybody under 50 yards. And I just had my whole mindset was different that season and everything that year. And I can see my game changing and see how dedicated I was and how focused I was. And me just being able to play so many different sports and finally focus on one thing. And I think that's what helped me.
See, that's very interesting, and I vibe with that because I, growing up, did Olympic-style weightlifting, and I competed nationally, traveled the country, and then I actually put myself in a position to go play college football, but I was a center, 150 pounds, and I started every game as a freshman center in college because I just had that confidence and that mindset. I'm competing at a national level, so there's nothing you could tell me that I can't do, because I already got a national medal. I'm already lifting things that these guys in the weight room that are the 200 pounds can't touch. And I was just able to move people on the line, and I was quick because I was little. And that mindset of being that double sport athlete and competing at a level that people can't compete, and that confidence it gives you. See, now I understand why you compete at such a high level in the NFL and at USC, because that's just crazy. But so USC, great school, great history. You know, the football history, you go back to USC, Texas, you go way further than that. What was Adoree Jackson's favorite memory at USC?
Favorite moment was my sophomore year. We went against UCLA at the Colley. I don't think the seniors ever beat them like in a while, or 4 games or 5 games. This is the 5th year seniors. They never beat them. They lost. So 4 years they were there. This is their 5th year. They all lost. And to see them go off, I think it was senior night, I believe. I'm not sure. But to see them boys so excited and send them off the right way, you beat UCLA, then we go play in the bowl game. And I think that was my greatest moment. That was the loudest I heard the Coliseum play. And to see them so happy. Like, I never seen them, somebody that excited, a stadium that excited to beat a rival team, and everything that they've been through, the ups and the downs, and to finally get over that hump and to beat them. That's probably the best moment.
Now, do you get little goosebumps when you go back? Have you played in the Coliseum in the NFL yet?
Never.
No, you haven't? So are you looking forward to that?
I am. Yeah, it's going to be one of those things where...
Gonna get some goosebumps, hairs on the back of your neck stand up?
Yeah, so I went to go see, I don't know who was playing. Was it the Rams and the Buffalo Bills? I think when they came out here, my guy Kevon Seymour was playing with them. So I went to go see him and see those guys that you had Kevon Seymour, you had Robert Woods, you had Nikhil Roby, and you had Reggie Bush all coming back to the Coliseum. That's been a while. And then T.J. McDonald was with the Rams, so it was cool to see that mesh of former SC players coming to Coliseum. So I feel like it's going to be one of those surreal moments where my last game in the Coliseum so happened to be against Notre Dame, and that's probably the most fond memory that I have of myself playing in there.
That was a great game.
It was crazy. I didn't know it was raining, and then we just made the best of it. And I think if I ever get to go back and play in Coliseum, it's gonna be one of those moments where, like, this is home.
I'm getting goosebumps, man. The magic that's gonna happen that day.
I feel it.
He gonna get a pick six, a punt return for a touchdown, and he gonna bring the damn offense into the goal line, into the red zone.
Hey, if it happened like that, that's gonna be the best way to end the story off right.
I'm telling you, that's what's gonna happen. So we got your best moment at USC. Now let's get into the draft. You come to Stars. Right?
Yeah.
You mess with young sensei over here. He gets you right, you know, your uncle. You know? So what is it like, you know, we talk, this is the Stars experience, you know, we try to bring people in to get an experience of what it's like to actually train here. So why did you pick Stars first off, and how did Stars get you to a different level from going to any other place that you could have gone to?
I think JD and Frog know the story. I think I met them in like 2015, 2014, like when I was coming out. And, you know, it was a training facility, and they trained like a lot of different ages. And they kept telling me to come up there. And me just being from East St. Louis, it was one of the things where I just had to figure out, you know, what was their intentions, like trying to trust a lot of people, because we don't trust a lot of people. So I was just sitting there gauging them out. Would come up here, check it out, and they always ask, you coming up here? I tell them, yeah, but in my mind, I'm like, I still got to fill it out and gauge it out.
Yeah.
So I probably knew JD and them for about 6 years. I've only been here for 3 years. So it was one of the things that took me a while to really just open up and go train here. And it's one of the things that you got a guy that played the game, won the Super Bowl, played at the biggest stage, and done the biggest things, done what you wanted to do. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to figure out what's going to get you to the next level, who's going to help you. I mean, you could stay with what you know, be in your comfort zone, and coming out here, getting out of my comfort zone and trying to open up and learn from somebody who didn't know who I was and that probably could challenge me and get me to do things that I know I wouldn't normally do if I could have been with somebody else that I'm more comfortable with. And just his background that he had, And it felt like he was more like me. When I first met him, he didn't talk, I didn't talk, so I knew he was more observant. So he was filling me out, I was filling him out. And you know how Frog is. He's so energetic.
Right.
So Frog was the energetic one, and JD was laid back. And I'm sitting there like, man, I'm trying to engage. Like,
they're like yin and yang over here.
Like, who is who? Like, I'm trying to figure out like what's going on. And eventually 2017 came. Once I declared, and I told him like, yeah, I'm gonna come. They probably still didn't believe me, and I ended up showing up. But I just knew it was me trying to take that next step. And even to this day, like understanding that sometimes you got to put your pride aside. Sometimes you got to understand that some people do have your best interests. A lot of people don't want to see you fail. And coming to a spot like this, their name on the line. So they won't say that I'm coming from stars and they're going to have me doing some bull out there that I know is not going to benefit me. And that's one of the things. I can talk to them like I talk to anybody. That's how I try to approach everything that I do in life. I need people to understand where I'm coming from and how I view things. So when you coming at me, you understand that you're not pushing the wrong buttons, and I don't feel like you disrespecting me, and I don't feel like I'm disrespecting you. And once we got to that point where I understood, like, okay, now let's get to work. And you know everything they do here, whether I was getting rehab in the weight room or just on the field. And a lot of people said I couldn't backpedal. They didn't think I was doing this. I didn't really know. JD was the one that showed me, like, yeah, they don't think you can do this and that. We're going to work on this and that. Then I get to the combine. They said I had the smoothest feet there. I think they said something about like a smooth criminal. I can't even remember. But they was hyping me up so much. And it was one of the things where it just took me to go out there and get polished. Like, I've been playing football corner for about, I think, 6 years from there. From there, my sophomore year in high school. And then 3 years in the league. 3 years in college, but I was just out there doing my thing, and then I had somebody that wanted to see me who was so athletic to see me achieve and excel that he said, well, if you do this better than I did then, so there's no way there's no way I should have did this and you can't do this. And it's a guy that wanted to put you up so much over him, but that knows that he wants to help somebody because nobody helped him. And that's what I do now, try to give back to all of the little homies or all the big homies that I know. I'm always trying to give back because I know nobody was really there to help me, to really try to succeed as much that I knew I could. Like, nobody been at that level that I was trying to get to. And then it's CJD and me, JD, that been there, done that. He'll watch his little highlight every now and then so we can look at it. But I think that was one of the deciding factors that I knew why I should have came in.
Okay. Now, one thing that while you were talking about that rang into my mind is I wanted to get into real quick how playing offense your whole life made you a better corner, because I don't think people realize how similar they are. Now, obviously, they go against each other, but how did, being a wide receiver, playing on offense, learning those skill sets kind of translate over to now defending those skill sets and those types of players?
I think that when I was at SC, it helped me out a lot because I knew the whole offensive playbook. I knew the split, so I knew if somebody was outside the numbers, the most routes they can run is probably a slant or hitch, or they're going to run a go ball or whatever it may be. And to be able to understand that knowledge from being on the offensive side and knowing what the receiver wants to do and what the coach is looking at. And then coming here, when Frog teach the receiver one thing and then JD teaching us one thing about the DB and us trying to coincide and figure out how can I stop that if he's doing this, and then what's my counter move. So I think just having that knowledge and being able to be smart and understand football quickly, and when I be able to see something and retain it and have that memory.
Do you ever, now we know you play offense, at USC, you got some snaps in the league. Right. Do you ever, while you're here at Stars, jump in with the wide receivers and show them what's up?
I mess around at the drills, tell them I can play receiver if I wanted to. Sometimes I do easy ups with the offense in the league. Like before we warm it up and the DBs aren't out there, I run like a slant or do whatever routes they run at the time. But yeah, I talk trash. That's all I do. Like, I knew I play offense. I had to show my offense a highlight tape. I used to do all that, run the digs, run the posts, run the goals, run the bubbles, play running back. So I always talk trash. Like I can still do it, but it's a lot of respect to those boys who really do it at a high level because it's not easy for sure.
Right. Now, going to the draft, let's talk about that. So you get drafted, first round, Tennessee Titans. First off, that's remarkable because not a lot of people get drafted. Now we're going to slim it down. Only 32 people go in the first round. Right. Now we're going to slim it down even more. Not a lot of people get to walk across that stage and get to hold up a jersey. Right. So what was your mindset when you got invited to the draft? What was going on? Because I couldn't even fathom that.
I didn't even want to go. I think my mom and dad wanted to go so bad. And I said I wanted to go, but it came to the point where I wasn't. I just got hurt. I sprained my MCL, ACL, and my ankle. And I was in a place where I was like, man, I don't even want to go to the draft because I didn't want to do nothing. I was just sitting there like, man, I might just come back to school because I didn't know how bad and severe I was hurt. And my mom just talked to me and told me, like, take a leap out on faith and pray about it. Told me that he didn't bring you this far just to bring you this far. And it's one of the things that stuck with me. So I waited to the last minute to actually declare and tell my coach that I was leaving for the draft because I was still in question whether I was going to be healthy enough to do anything at the combine or I was going to get drafted in the first round because of my injury. So everything, I was just more skeptical of everything, so I didn't want to go. And at the same time, I didn't want to go because I wanted my whole family to be able to go there and witness me. Like, you got like a little table. It's a small
little circle. You can only take
cycle.
like 5 people, right?
So I wanted to go home, you know, so my grandma and all them, because I knew my grandma was sick, so she passed away a week before I actually went to the draft.
Damn.
And so
Sorry.
When I flew back, I was just wanted to make sure that everybody can be there, but I already decided I was going to go because they wanted to go. And the whole draft process, man, is crazy. I pulled up at 5 o'clock. I don't get drafted. It's like 11:30. I don't leave there till 1 o'clock because I'm doing interviews. So I was there for a good 7 hours just there. I was playing dominoes on my phone. I wasn't really worried about, like, I wasn't stressed about the moment. That's how I've always been. I've been laid back, been nonchalant because I always knew, like, if the Lord had something for me, then it's going to be for me. And if it wasn't, I'm not about to get my hopes up, you know? So
right.
I just was there relaxed, and I knew that the teams who needed corners, I knew they said they had me like 5. It was 5 corners. They knew they had me between 3 or 5, which one I was going to get drafted. So I wasn't really trying to sweat much because I didn't want to get stressed out. I didn't need my people to be stressed out because I'm stressed out, and I just wanted to have a good time and enjoy it. So when I got picked.
What was that feeling?
It didn't even sit in. I don't think it really sat in until I went home, man. And you don't understand how much love you got from your city and your people and everybody who supports you. And people always ask, like, why? Like, is that the deciding factor for me? And they define success, and that's it. Like, my family good. They ain't got to worry about nothing, man. My family love me. My city back home love me. They support me. They rock with me. And that's all I always wanted to be. Like, everybody, if you ask what I wanted to be when I grew up, I wanted to be a hood legend. And I feel like that's what I am. And try to give people hope. I go back and talk to the kids at the school. I didn't even go to them schools. I just go over there to talk to the kids. Let them know, like, man, I came from the same city you came from. I came from the same street, the same block. And I probably did the same thing y'all done. And understand that you just got to make the right decisions in life. And I think once you go back home and see how much love you get, that's when it sink in. Like, I went across the stage, cool, got my jersey. I felt that, but it didn't hit home until I went back home.
Okay, now you're in the league, first year.
Yeah.
What's it like being a rookie in the league? That just once again something else I can't fathom. Unfortunately, you didn't have any picks that first year.
Right.
But you still had a good year. You had some kick returns.
Right.
You got some offensive play. You showed out on defense. You showed why you were deserving of that first round pick. So what's your mindset going in? Are you you said you're nonchalant already, so do you go in kind of with a little chip because you were only picked at 18 and you thought you should have been higher, or what was that feeling going like to that first year?
Shit, I think I put too much pressure on myself, really. Like, I knew I was first round, so I went in that mindset. Even when I went to FC when I first got there, like, I was a 5-star. I was like the number 5 recruit overall, and I put so much pressure on myself to try to be so good and be so perfect and try not to make no mistakes. And that's when you make all the mistakes possible. You do everything wrong. And I think after I went the preseason game against Chicago, they let me start, played nickel. I just wasn't trusting myself. Like, I seen everything I seen on film, but I'm like, there's no way in hell that he's about to run the same route that I just seen. And sure enough, he did it, but I was just giving up a lot of stuff. And it was just me understanding, like I did when I went to SC. Football gonna be football at the end of the day. Just go out there and have fun and play ball. And I notice when I'm at my best is when I'm having fun, and I don't care about nothing. I'm just in the moment and in the zone. And I think after that preseason game, I started this season. I started off that way my second year, but you just really gotta find you, get comfortable being you, care less about what the coach gonna say, what the GM or the scout man gonna say, because he's not you and you not him. He don't know how you feel. He's not inside your brain. He don't know what's gonna get you to go play the way you need to play. So you got to figure out yourself, understand yourself. And I think once I figured out that, which I'm still doing, and trying to be positive about everything, because I know everything's not gonna go my way. It's not high school, it's not college. They get paid to make plays too. So me finding that the happy medium and understanding that. Like Marshawn Lynch said, I know I'm going to get got, but I got to get mines more than I get got. When you have that mentality and stay positive about it, you're going to be all right.
Now, how important is film study?
Huge. Because I got a lot of older guys in there that when you come in, you think you know film. I was at SC, I think I knew film. Then you go to guys who've been in here 6 leagues, who play with the Patriots, other guys who just love film or are good at film, be able to help you out. And I was fortunate, man, to be able to have Dick LeBeau as my defensive coordinator. I had Deshae Townsend as my cornerback coach, and I had Coach Jack as my safeties coach in the same room. And all the older guys that we have who've been there, you had Logan, you had Kevin Byard, who was just in his second year, but was really smart, in the film room. You had Denoris Searcy, you had Jonathan Cyprian, and Bryce McCain. So a lot of older guys who helped me try to show me the ropes. And film study became better because I studied film, but I damn sure wasn't the best at it. And understanding, trying to get better and better each year and be better and better each week, and understanding what I need, because I'm not going to study film like the guy to my left or the guy to my right, or I don't understand or study film the way the coach is going to present it all the time. So I had to figure out what was good for me and what was going to help me out there. So film study is for sure big. It slows the game down, makes everything easier for you.
Now, your rookie year, or after your rookie year, the Titans let go of their coach and they bring in a new coach. Mm-hmm. So how, obviously you go from college to NFL, that's a different coach, but you go from your rookie year to your second year in the league and you already have a new playbook you have to learn, new coach. How hard is that transition to make? Or what are the pros and cons of getting a new coach? I don't know if you want to give any pros about getting a new coach.
The cons is you just got to come in hella early. It was too early. We came in like the first week of April. And prior to that, they came in like the third week of April. So that's the only con. Like, you're enjoying your off season, you getting your work in, you enjoying your break, but then you get a new coach. Oh, yeah, make sure y'all be back around this time. That's the only con. But the pro is you get to learn a whole new system. You get to figure out how he works. He get to figure you out. And you get to go from there. It's like a clean slate. Obviously, he's seen film on you and whatever that may be. But he's a cool dude. And I'm the same person with no matter who I meet. Like, I'm going to just be me. And he accepted that. He knew that. And I think that's why our relationship was good when we first met and we talked, because he understood who I was. I guess he talked to a lot of different people and asked about my personality, who I was, and he respected it. And that's why I think we gravitated to each other.
All right, now your second year, you get your first pick against DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Incredibly acrobatic catch.
Crazy.
I mean, I don't even know the question to ask, but I just like. You're up in the air, right? It's double coverage. Right. For some reason, they throw the ball to DeAndre Hopkins in double coverage, and you launch up over DeAndre to catch the ball over him. You moss him. Let's just call a spade, right? And you get your first pick in the league. How's that? And what are you thinking in that moment? You see the ball traveling. Are you like just confused on why the ball's going your way in double coverage?
So prior to that week, coach was like, "Man, you're gonna get a pick." And he kept talking about, man, you're the best. You can track the deep ball well. You can go up and just get the ball. So, and Will Fuller was a super fast dude. So it's like, man, they're just going to take a shot, and it don't matter. Who it's going to be, they're just going to throw it up. And sure enough, we get to the game. I was feeling good throughout the whole game, I was fired up, playing good. And then when that play happened, like, I had my eyes on the quarterback and seen him throw it up, and I knew KB was in the safety and he was going to come over to help me, so I knew I didn't really have to panic or anything.
Right.
And once the ball went up in the air, I'm like, damn, he really threw the ball. And it was just me thinking, like, either KB is going to hit it, we were just trying to make sure that he didn't catch it. And, I just went up and to get the ball, and it was more my first pick. It was surreal. It was like, man, my whole life, my whole moment come to this, and to me it was more of a, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just me more, man, life was good. I tell you that, because you can go on Twitter, you hear so much, you can see so much negativity, and it was more of a thing where I was like, man, this has solidified myself, and I felt good about myself. Because, I mean, you can ask any athlete, I bet you they can go on Twitter, and like, you don't even want to see it. You're going to see some crazy stuff, and it's not going to hurt you all the way, but you're a question like, damn, this is how people feel about me. And understand, you know how you are as an athlete. And I don't think people understand that. So that's why I tell fans, don't play with me like I'm an athlete, because that's not cool. Because some people don't think athletes going to clap back or say anything to them. And for me, that's why I try to, social media, that shit is the worst place to be on, no matter what. You have a good game, bad game, okay game. It's just the worst. And so for me getting that pick, it was just me. It was solidifying for myself, like, all right, I'm here. Like, this was like, all right, I'm good now. Like,
where's that ball at right now?
Oh, somewhere at the crib. I don't really like. I'm not a materialistic dude, so I got the ball somewhere. I just don't know where it's at. I really don't be knowing where stuff be at. I get them. It was cool at the moment. And it's like, damn, what's the next thing? Like, I can't just keep looking at that ball like, damn, that's my first pick. Now I got to figure out how I'm gonna get the ball 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's just on the floor, rolling around. Like I don't know. It ain't in no case. I don't have no jerseys, none of that in the case. Nothing. I give most of my stuff to my dad. I mean, that's probably my biggest fan.
Respect.
And that's it.
All right. Well, we did hit up Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook to try to get some fans' questions. So once again, we're here with Titans cornerback and Stars alumni, Adoree Jackson.
We out here.
So we do got a couple questions from the fans.
Let's see what they got for me.
We're going to figure those out. So the first one comes from Twitter, at Tanner B. It's actually one of my high school friends. He's a big Titans fan. He said, who's been the most fun matchup against, and what team do you love to play against?
The most fun that I had, matchup-wise, man, against Josh Gordon. I think that was the most fun that I had in the game, that I felt like myself, like out there, and everything was blocked out. And no matter, he did catch some balls, but it was more of that. I knew he was gonna catch some, but I just had to be in my bag. And I played shit. I play hella good. Can't nobody tell me nothing. So if you want to look at the tape or not, I just felt like that game itself, and to be with a guy that I seen and I grew up watching, understand who the Flash was, and it's a lot of respect to him. It just felt like I just felt more comfortable, more at home, and playing. And I think that was the most fun matchup I had, and the team I look forward to playing. I look forward to playing the Rams when we played them my rookie year. I grew up East St. Louis.
Right.
They was the St. Louis Rams, and that was one of the teams that
I didn't even think about that. That's going to be even crazier going to L.A.
That was one of the teams that I liked growing up. And then Robert Woods was a guy that they always talked about, went to the same high school, and I never played against him. So I never went against him. And it was one of the things where, man, I just want to go against Robert Woods because it would be one of those bittersweet moments like, man, it was a guy that I looked up to. Like Drake said, when your idols become your rivals. And it was like, man, I looked up to all these people. Marquise Lee, like a guy who I thought was the best athlete since sliced bread or something. And then you had Robert Woods, and you got Paul Richardson that I'm going against. And a lot of guys that we all went to the same high school. I think those are the most fun games that I had because I'm going against guys that, man, I looked up to. And it's like not like we 30 years apart. Like we just like 3-4 years apart. But those still guys that I looked up to who paved the way for me and gave me the opportunity because I didn't go to Sarah, and they didn't do the things they did. Who known if I would have got recruited the way I was getting recruited, or who knew SC was going to be there all the time because they had Robert, Marquise, George Farmer. So, man, I always give them a lot of credit because if they wasn't at the school that I transferred to, I don't know if I would have been at SC.
Right. Now, our next question comes from Instagram. It's Cole Harity. He wants to know what separates you from other players.
I'm real. This all you're going to get from me. I'm not going to give you nothing else. I'm not going to give you nothing less. If you can't see how real I am, you can't enjoy me as a person or whatever it's probably not meant for you to be around me. But I'm going to be funny. I'm going to be a real dude. I might tweet stuff that I think is funny. You might think it's funny. I'm going to like stuff that I think is funny that you might think people always say, oh, you're an athlete. At the end of the day, I'm a human being. Like, if you look at me and look at the dude next to me, a lot of us do the same things, and I just try to tell people I'm relatable. Like I'm not a dude that's gonna be bougie. I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna be genuine with you. If you genuine with me, but I'm not gonna be fake. So just cause I shake your hand don't mean that we buddy, but I got a lot of respect. It's the principle of everything, and I don't think people understand that it's more about respect, the principle, and just being real and not fake.
Now another question from Bob, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this name right, but Doram. He wants to know, what do you miss most about USC?
I think I miss most is the locker room, and it was fun. We had a lot of great memories, a lot of great times in that little small big locker room that we had, just joking around and coming together. I think that was more about sanctuary. No matter how bad practice was, no matter how tiring it was, how bad it was, man, when we came in there, it was like we was brothers. It was a family. And it didn't matter if he was an O-line, D-line, we'll get in that center and have fun, chop it up, and have a good time. We had a lounge that we all kicked it in. So, and it was like them, like my friends, people that I played against in high school, that I played with in high school, and people that I knew about in high school, all at the same school. And you can't beat that.
Now, last question from Deja Jackson. Who is the greatest shooter in sevens in Stars history?
It's me, man. I'm the greatest. And
greatest?
Nah, I'm not gonna say I'm the greatest, but ain't nobody greater than me. Like, I'm not about to tell somebody better than me, but I'm not about to say I'm better than anybody else. I can shoot that thing though if I need to, but
okay.
I won some 7 games. I lost some. I'll admit that.
All right. Well, last thing before we get out of here,
yeah.
This is Stars. It's different, our family versus your facility. What is your fondest memory of being here at Stars?
Fondest? Man.
Fondest, favorite, funniest.
I'll tell you the first day I actually got here, they end up, Damien worked me out, and I was so mad. I just was hurt, and he had me doing all these drills. And at the time, he was like, man, let me just relax. But I didn't know the benefit of trying to get the flexion, make sure you're moving and doing everything the right way. And that was me just learning how to trust somebody else that wanted to help me. But me being me, like, I just wanted to rest my ankle, ice it, you massage it. I didn't want to do no work. I just wanted to rub on it, do what I got to do. I didn't want to bend it. I didn't want to do all that. I didn't want to go in the weight room and try to figure out my flexibility on my ankle, how much I had. So that's probably the first memory I ever had here. It was rough because it was something new, but something new is always good.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, man.
Yeah.
This has been the Stars Experience.
Yeah.
Once again, Adoree Jackson, USC alum, Stars alum, Tennessee Titans cornerback. This has been Jonathan Rizk and Adoree Jackson with the Stars Experience. Check it out. See y'all next time. Peace.
I'll at you.
I just pull up on occasion. I spice it up like it's Cajun. Never ask for location. Then I'm gone to the next one. Do what I want.